Hi, how many of us have heard of the military training as part of the national service? I'm sure right now is familiar with most level 400 students in Ghana waiting to graduate this year. And some of you, it's a good news to you because even right from the high school, you had longed to be part of the cadets, but due to some busy schedules, especially if you are doing a course that is a bit challenging, you are not able to join the cadets, and still that passion is still within you and you want to have that military experience, so it's kind of like a good news for you. And for some too, like my friend, you feel like this will be a big challenge for you because according to her, her legs are even too thin to fit in those heavy boots of the military people, and she don't know how she will even go about it. And she was asking whether it's compulsory for everybody because she doesn't want to do it. Well, I'm here with everything you need to know about the military training as part of the national service. So the military training will just be starting this year, and according to the NSS boss, it's going to take at least 10,000 people for the first year. So this year, it's not everybody that is going to partake in it. So if you are someone who feels like you don't want to partake, I think you don't have to worry at all. You simply don't have to apply, and that will just exempt you from the program and you go scot-free. But I'm sure for subsequent years, it is going to be mandatory. So if you're in the university right now, just get your mind ready and just be ready for anything that will happen. But for this year, just going to be at least 10,000 people because this is just the first year and then they want to test the system. The purpose of this is to instill discipline among the youth and to also give them some basic tips, especially when it comes to like handling emergency cases. Because if you are familiar with the system now, when an accident just happened, instead of people helping the victim, they start taking pictures to post online and that kind of thing. But having this military training is going to give you some basic tips like that. Like when there's fire outbreak, what will you do? If somebody is hurt, what do you do? And that kind of thing. And this will go a long way to help us as a nation. And if you are somebody who don't just feel like doing it for this year, I think you are very lucky because you'll be exempted. Don't just apply because it's going to be something that you have to apply. And for those that are passionate about it, it's something that is kind of like competitive because they are going to select. They are taking at least 10,000 people for this year. That means not everyone will have the opportunity to partake. So if you are not interested, don't just apply. But if you are interested, do make your application. And by August, you will be starting the military training. And it is going to take at least 6 weeks. That's less than 2 months. So you can put in the application. And even if you are not passionate about it, you can just give it a try. So we'll be listening to an interaction between the NSS boss and trainees, after which we come back. Please stay tuned.
Well, no, you know what? Even for the Ghana Armed Forces, those who are so mandated to defend this country, it's been a long time since they got into any fight. Not at least in my lifetime have I had the Ghana Armed Forces fighting in any battle. But as Ghanaian citizens, there are several battles that we need to fight. And we need to fight the battle in the Council of Galamsey. We have to reclaim our lands from environmental degradation. We have to fight against sanitation, poor sanitation. We have to fight against malaria. We have to fight against all manner of cancers. So for those fights, you do not need only education to do. You need physical, mental, and then physical discipline as well. And that is President Mohammed's approach and then principle now, that if we were to get the military involved, it would do a lot, inculcates discipline, patriotism, and nationalism into the young Ghanaians. If we did that, young people will turn up early for meetings, they will turn up on time, they will turn up prepared, because it's very important that people turn up at places prepared. They will turn up after all, for those who were not turning up at all, and then make sure things are done well, neatly, and without a thing. Very soon, the Mahama graduates or Mahama Ghanaians will begin to emerge, who are very disciplined, loyal to the state of Ghana, and then are willing to die for Ghana, and would be able to, because of their training that they have had, to say that, you know what, you cannot possibly do mining around Riverside, you know. And then in spite of the obvious the obvious indulgence from business people and all that, no, I'm not allowing it. You can't do that. No, you cannot bribe a Mahama graduate or a Mahama Ghanaian to give you a bed because you paid something. Suddenly a bed shows up. You know, no, that's not the sort of Ghanaian that we are looking forward to.
So that's the plan of the. So how is it going to be like? Our national service personnel, all of them, are they going to be some selected persons?
No, this year is going to be a pilot year.
Okay.
And then this pilot year, at least, we're going to do 10,000 service persons around the country. We'll start on the 3rd of August. And then that will be before they begin their national service properly. On the 15th of May, we're going back to meet the military, and then we're going to decide on things like the cloth to wear, the boots, are we going to feed them or they are going to feed them? I'm sure they are going to stay all on campuses. We ourselves are prepared to recall them to come by middle of June if we are going to be selected for the military training this year, this pilot year. We would have written to you and called you and told you that yes, you are going to the Arakan barracks at, I think, Bema Camp, or you are going to the Coronation Barracks in Sunyani, or Bawa or Kamina in Temali. But it's obvious that around the nation, from the 3rd of August, most service persons would be called to begin their annual military service this year.
So you are going to do the selection? Or
yes, we will select.
People can opt in?
No, we have given that option on the platform to choose to do military service, but then we're expecting that almost everybody is going to ask that they want to do the military service. But because the pilot here, we are going to choose at least 10,000. It could be more, but then the least we will do will be 10,000 so that they can present themselves for the military service this year.
How long will that be?
At least 6 weeks. We could do more, but then the least we will do will be 6 weeks.
And then when they get back, what do they do? Post them?
Now, when they get back now, because of maybe the criteria we used to post you, we're going to post you into several areas, of course.
So you're looking forward to this becoming like a permanent feature?
Yes, every year. Next year, if all of us all service persons do not do the military training this year, next year everybody will. I'm sure they'll probably start early, and then in the course of your service persons, you'll be called to come and do your service for 6 weeks all around. The thing is also that, you know what, you have to train, President Mahama's plan, you have to train these people that in terms of emergencies, you know what, when trained national service persons appear there, then there's a semblance of sanity in emergency scenes, in disasters, and all that to come and help. Imagine if on May 9th, which will happen soon, the 25th anniversary of the disaster, we had service persons there who had been trained in disaster scenes and say, you know what, everybody pass here and all that. We would have lost far fewer people then.
So you're talking about the selection mode is going to be available on the platform for people to choose, but in this pilot phase, you are going to pick out some of these. Is there a specific criteria, or you're going to develop certain internal controls to be able to decide?
Oh, no, we will develop certain internal controls. Being there this year, of course, we have service persons who are already involved in the police service. I think that some priority will be given to them. We will choose people, nurses, we will choose people from different backgrounds. Of course, people who serve in our farms will be given priority. So they are going to be people who will choose from everywhere. Of course, there will be men and women if we will choose, if we can do 50-50. Yes.
So we've listened to the boss of the National Service Scheme, and we all have a fair idea of the entire thing now. So for those of you passionate about it, especially my Ahoya boys, Aho!
Ahoya!
Yeah. So this is your time to shine. Just make sure you apply, and then I'm sure you'll be selected. So, and if you're also not passionate about it, it's absolutely fine. So just focus your energy on areas you think you're more passionate about, and everybody will be fine. Once again, this is Give Tech Media, and I would like to use this opportunity to acknowledge our sponsors, GTS Market and Give Tech Solution, for always supporting us. GiveTech Solution is your number one tech training center where you can have all the IT skills you need. And mind you, these people do practical training. So make sure you choose it as your number one. It's located in Sunyani, so don't worry at all. If you don't know how to code, they are going to help you and you'll be sorted out. And GTS Market is an online marketplace where you can have quality and affordable laptops. So you can just log into their site www.gtsmarket.com and you have very quality and affordable laptops, and they do delivery nationwide, so it doesn't matter where you are, you can get your laptop. Once again, this is GiveTech Media English, and I would like to appreciate you for watching up to this point. If you have not subscribed yet, we plead with you to do so and click on the notification button so that you always receive updates from this channel. Thank you so much and see you later. Bye.